New lecture, VoiceOver Modifier Key and Basic Commands. Alright, so today I will talk about the VoiceOver Modifier Key and VoiceOver command. What is the VoiceOver Modifier Key? Well, literally it means keyboard keys. So it is the caps lock or the control option. Now, when I say the control option, that means you have to be pressing both control and option for it to count as a modifier key. It also is caps lock. I prefer to use caps lock as my modifier key, but you can also assign a custom modifier key, although that I haven't done yet. And then what are screen reader commands? Screen reader commands are keyboard shortcuts and gestures that allow you to control a screen reader, navigate content, and interact with applications, websites, Mac apps, without relying on vision. Now, you tell a computer what to do with the mouse pointer, and with the screen readers, you tell it what to do via the keyboard, or rather, you tell the screen reader what to do via the keyboard, and then the screen reader executes the command back to the computer. Now, what I think of a modifier key, I think of it this way. You have Alexa, right? How do you find out from Alexa what day it is? Do you ask, what day is it? Or do you say, Alexa, what day is it? For VoiceOver, you don't address it as Miss VoiceOver. You press the modifier key, which is caps lock or control option. And I always use caps lock for my modifier key. And basically, pressing the modifier key means you're asking VoiceOver, or rather you're commanding VoiceOver to execute a function. Like Alexa, you don't just say what day it is. You say, Alexa, what day it is. So with the modifier key is, imagine if it's like a hot word for VoiceOver. Or imagine you have a dog and you throw the ball and you say, Lucky, fetch, right? And then the dog goes to fetch it. But if you just say, fetch. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. My Patreons get benefits such as my free accessibility courses, free accessibility lessons, and the more members I have on Patreon, the more motivated I am to keep creating accessible accessibility content. Like, for example, let's say you fetch while you're laying around in the living room, then the dog is probably not going to fetch anything, right? Remember, throughout this course, every time I say VO key, I only mean caps lock, right? Now, sometimes in this course, you're going to see keyboard shortcuts on the screen that will show control option. Whenever I say VO key, I'm probably pressing caps lock, okay? So I just want you to remember VO key, caps lock. All right. And this is just an example of the example with Alexa. What day is it? And, Alexa's going to say September 10th, all right? Now, how do we make VoiceOver tell us what day it is? Well, we need to press the VO key, which is caps lock, function F7, and then VoiceOver is going to tell us what day it is. Now, let me show you how it works in action. Let's say that I am on my local Fencing Club's website and I want to schedule a lesson, right? Now, I've been to this website before and I know that there's one contact form and I want to jump to that contact form right away. Now, the command for jumping to the command form is Command J. The first thing we need to do is actually turn on screen reader. I forgot about that. So remember how we turn on the screen reader? Yes, we turned on with Command F5. So I'm going to turn on my screen reader.
VoiceOver on Safari. Fencing. Visited. Link. Start. Link. Visit. Link. Visited. Link. Home.
All right. So I have started my VoiceOver and I'm on the logo graphic link. All right. Now I want to jump straight to the contact form, and the command for that is Command J. But if I press Command J, nothing is going to happen. That's why I'm going to press the modifier key, which is the VO modifier key and also known as VO key. Now I'm pressing Command and I'm going to press the J key.
Full name, required invalid data, edit text. To open the autofill menu, press the up or down.
There you go. As you notice, we jumped straight from the top of the website to the form. And we did it by executing a command, which we did with the modifier key. And in different screen readers, the modifier key has different names. In VoiceOver, it's called VO key, NVDA key, or JAWS key for the JAWS screen reader. Now, another example I'll show you is, okay, I want to move to the contact us header. Okay, so I'm going to do is press caps lock, also known as VO key, Command Shift H. Actually, this will bring me back to schedule a trial lesson. So let's try that.
Heading level 3. Schedule a trial lesson.
All right. Now I want to go back to the top of the page. VO key, Command Shift H.
Heading level 2. Contact us. Fencing Club. The pointy end. Window. Heading level 3. Competitive. Heading level 2. Our programs. Heading level 3. Heading level 3. Heading level 2. Why choose pointy? Heading level 1. Master the art of fencing.
All right, so you might be thinking, okay, Stefany, does that mean I have to press the VO key perpetually all the time when I'm browsing a website? No. There is a shortcut to the VO key, which is VO key semicolon, will lock in the VO key so you don't have to keep pressing it. Now, to do that, you press VO key,
Control Option lock on.
semicolon. There we go. And now, if I want to go to focus the headings downstairs of the website, all I have to do is press Command H.
Heading level 2. Why choose pointy? Heading level 3. Expert instruction. Heading level 3. All weapons.
There we go. That is a bit of an easier way to command VoiceOver. Now, I will tell you one thing. Once the VO key is locked into the system, if you try to do other things, you won't be able to do them. For example, if I want to go back to the address bar, now going back to the address bar is Command L, right? But this is not a VoiceOver command. So if I try to do it while the VO key is locked, look what's going to happen. Command
info@pointdefencing.com link.
There we go. It just focused the next link instead of focusing the address bar. So what I'm trying to say is VoiceOver tries to do some wild things, or your computer is not behaving as you thought it would. It probably means that your VO key is locked. And to unlock it, you just press the VO key and semicolon again.
Control Option lock off.
There we go. Now you don't need the modifier key to do absolutely everything on a website. For example, if you can accomplish an action without the screen reader, then you don't need the VO key. For example, I'm going to try to focus the address bar again, so I'm going to press Command L. There we go. And I am focused on the address bar because it's not a VoiceOver command, it's a macOS command, right? Pressing Tab also doesn't require the VO key either, right? Now, another thing I want to show you is browsing through every single element on the page, and you do that with the arrow keys. So let me start again. So if I want to select every single element, I'm going to need to use the VoiceOver cursor, and you use the VoiceOver cursor by pressing the VO key, left and right arrow. Okay, so I'm going to press the VO key and I'm going to press the left and right arrow. I'm going to press the right arrow because I want to keep moving forward to the website, and it's going to focus the image.
2 of our foil fencers are celebrating with medals and a trophy. Image.
All right, I'm going to press it again.
Heading level 2. Why choose pointy? We combine traditional techniques with modern training methods to develop skilled, confident fencers at every level.
What I usually do is I lock in the quick navigation, which means that if I want to browse the site with the arrow keys, I don't want to be pressing the VO key all the time. So what I do is I press the left arrow key and the right arrow key together, and I lock in the VoiceOver cursor. So I'm going to do that now.
All quick nav on.
There we go. Now the cursor is locked in, so I don't have to keep pressing the VO key, and I can test the website just by pressing the
We combine traditional techniques with
left and right keys.
Heading left. Learn from heading left. Master epee foil and heading left. Learn heading. We combine heading left. 2 of our foil fencers are
There we go. Now, if you want to practice the basics of VoiceOver, you can press VO function command F8, which will give you a really nice VoiceOver tutorial. And yeah, so this is the end of this tutorial. Modifier key is the most important screen reader key you can imagine. So yeah, and I thought I would just tell you like a funny story that happened to me. So when I first started in accessibility, I started interviewing, and I didn't know as much, but I thought I knew everything about accessibility. And in my very first interview, my interviewer, he was going through the questions, and he was like, okay, so you know accessibility, right? And I said, yeah, I know the WCAG, everything. He says, do you know about color contrast? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And then he took my resume, opened it, and then he opened a color contrast checker, and he tested the text of my resume to the background color, and it was not WCAG conformant. And I was floored with embarrassment. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I am applying to an accessibility position, and yet my CV is not accessible. But he was really nice. He basically gave me like a lesson in accessibility while he was interviewing me. So yeah, I'm always grateful to this person. But big takeaway is, if you're applying for accessibility jobs, make sure your CV is accessible. Okay, so use headings and make sure that the color contrast is good. Do not use any funny colors as the background. Just do black text on white background. So Yeah, I just thought I would share it. All right, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Hey, thank you for watching. I have a bunch of accessibility courses at accessibilityacademy.com. Send me an email at steph@stephanynewman.com. Support me on Patreon and subscribe to the channel and like this video. Okay, bye.